Welcome in for another shave. Today we'll be shaving with Chiseled Face's Pine Tar. Well, you can see that. This is obviously a sample size. I've got I scooped out a dollop of it about that size. And I'm putting it in the bottom of the Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements Travel Shatterproof Scuttle, which has been out of stock for a while. I'll be interested to see if Douglas decides to bring it back. Maybe in a bigger version like the Moonscape Scuttle. So I pressed it in the bottom of the scuttle. I've made the mistake before of putting the hot water in here and then trying to press it in the bottom and it being almost too hot to press it down. And normally when I'm warming the water for the scuttle, I just put water in the scuttle and stick it in the microwave for like a minute and a half. And then, you know, carefully with like a cloth or something, bring it back to the bathroom. But tonight I thought about doing it a different way. I'm going to try, and I'm not going to do this on camera because I'm going to set it down on my cabinet, and we're not set up for it, or I'm going to drop it. We're not set up for a 2-camera shot. So I'm taking this kitchen funnel, right, just sticking it in there. You can see how ridiculous that looks. I'm actually going to take my towel and hold this other side and pour in some hot water. Now, I will hold this up carefully. I bought this Amazon Prime Day. This is normally like a $30 kettle, you know, the kind you know, plug in and boils hot water for you. And it was on sale for $18, so I got that on Amazon Prime Day. And I was going in to the kitchen to warm up my water in the microwave like I normally do, and I thought, well, heck, let me try to do it in the kettle. It's probably hotter than the warm water is normally when I get it out of the microwave. So, you know, do not try this at home. Be very careful with this. I am going to take, the way that, with this scuttle, the way it's designed, the hot water actually runs into the handle as well. So that handle gets pretty hot, like even when I do it in the microwave. So I'm actually going to just stick my hand back here on the back with the towel while I pour into the funnel. Making sure my feet are away. This could be horrible. So we're just going to try it here. It's smoking hot, literally. I'm actually going to fill the sink up. I'm going to start off with the rest of the water from the kettle. I didn't do but about a half a pot there. But it's hot as well. So we'll probably have to add a little water to it to cool it down to the right temperature. Okay, so now we have some really hot water in the travel scuttle with the Chiseled Face Pine Tar soap. I'm using the Omega S brush. Anytime I use a soap that might kind of smell a little different, or I may think like stains a brush or whatever, I generally don't use one of my good Badgers for that. I've always used this, but it's actually one of my favorite brushes. I love using it, but it's not retained a smell. But like, if you're familiar with Chiseled Face's Midnight Stag, I always use this for that. Same for Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements, Sangre de Drago. Both of those are really strong smelling soaps, and so I, for whatever reason, have always used this one. It's kind of my, you know, risky, strong scent soap brush. So got that hot water in the sink. That other water tempered it down a little bit. So I'm gonna, this being a synthetic brush, it doesn't have to soap. I'm just gonna warm it up a little bit, shake off the excess. It might have been too hot because it's almost liquefied the soap, which might or might not affect its properties. I don't know. We shall see. I'm not trying to build a lather in here so much as I am just trying to load it. By the way, I'm sure you saw when I showed you the dollop of the soap, but it's straight up brown in color. Now, according to Chiseled Face, this is, you know, I assume their regular base with just pine tar added. Some of you may have used like a pine tar bar soap before for showering, or I know some recommend it good for shampooing or washing your beard. Or I'll put a link in the description, and if I can find some, you know, supported evidence on that pine tar does a certain thing for you. But I do love the way pine tar smells, which a lot of people would not like the way it smells. I mean, it smells like pine tar, like the thing you put on your baseball bats. Like, it smells maybe a little bit like, you know, pine sol, but not in a chemical way. It's a natural smell. So anyway, we got it loaded there on the brush. Because the soap liquefied, I'm a little leery of adding any water at this point, so let's just get it on the face. And we'll add water when we need to. Yeah, definitely pretty thick here. It's, as you might imagine, off the sample and in the scuttle, it's strong. It is strong when lathering as well. But like I said, it's a pleasant aroma. It kind of has, it feels like it has a little bit of that property that, say, a eucalyptus or a peppermint would, in that it's kind of aromatic, and seems like it's kind of opening up my nasal passageways. I think I'm good. All right. Still not where I want it, so let's swirl a little more, dip the tips just a little bit. Yeah, now I think we're cooking. Yeah. It's wet for this side. I can just tell you, on scent alone, I would reuse this soap. I mean, Chiseled Face's base is, you know, known to be a good base. I have Chiseled Face in Cryogen, and in Sherlock and Midnight Stag. Probably eventually get Ghost Town Barber. I do have that in the aftershave and have tried the sample. But yeah, pine tar. You know, and I'm going to forget his name at this point, but the artisan behind Chiseled Face, I saw him interviewed one time. I think it was one of the Maggard's Meetups with Mantic. I forget Mantic's YouTube name. I'll put it in down there. But interviewed him, and the artisan was saying that one of the things that their goals was to make really masculine scents. And if you've ever smelled Midnight Stag, which is not one you want to use right before you go to work, by the way, it's just kind of what I'd call my Saturday morning kick around scent. Most wives are not going to care for it. I won't say much more about it, but that the description that it smells like someone, it smells like an old leather jacket that was left in the back of a service station on top of a tire where someone had been cleaning guns, is an accurate description. It smells great. That hoppy number 9 gun cleaner type thing, gun smoke, motor oil, I assume like smell of like tire rubber, I don't know. But this is just straight up pine tar, and man, is it getting thick. All right. So we're going to be shaving with Maggard Razor's open comb head. If you, those of you that have been watching for a little bit, know that I'm a big fan of open comb razors. And we have it riding on that ginormous handle that Maggard's has as an option, which I love, by the way. It does make the razor heavier, obviously, so it puts a little more pressure on your face. So just have to be aware of that if you're used to using a light razor. But let's get in here and see what this soap does. Oh, you know what? It would help if I put the razor blade in. I forgot this one was sitting in there on my shelf, and I had not yet gotten the razor blade for it. All right, got that in there. Let's put back the lather we took off with the razorless razor. As I told you a couple videos ago, I didn't realize I made weird faces when I shave. I think it's my way of stretching the skin, but I've become more conscious of it now and I don't do it as much. As you can see, I still am overdue for a haircut. Yep, it's good primary slickness. The residual slickness is a little on the tacky side, so I probably won't try to buff as much as I would normally on a shave. And again, for those of you who don't know, buffing means just going back over a place you've already removed the soap from. If you've ever watched any of Paul H's videos, he tends to be a buffer. So do I. Like if I can still hear the audio feedback, I tend to keep shaving. Yeah, I've still got shaving cream in my nose. So I have a couple promotions and idea, try to get more subscribers. One, I have a soap I'm going to be giving away. And I actually have a full soap and aftershave set I'm going to give away. But I also, particularly before fall gets here, I may shave off my goatee as a promotion when I hit a certain number of subscribers. So I'll probably do one for 50, and then one for 100, and then probably one for like 250 or something. Maybe that's two. Hit my light there. Maybe that's too optimistic. All right. Yeah, again, I wish someone would make a razor. Had a huge lip out here right at the bottom of the I have one similar to that. I have to use it in an upcoming shape, but it's not as wide as it's more like a cup shape. But I don't know, is anybody else like me and gets this like all over the handle, like it's all down on the handle? I mean, I guess you just kind of rub it off of the handle onto the thing. A lot of times I'll even dip my handle in the water because it's so soapy that it's getting slick in my hand. In fact, I'm going to have to take a little bit off the handle with a towel. Anyway, am I the only one? Let me know in the comments. Again, mentioned this in a previous video. Heard somebody say there's no need to swirl and like build lather on a second pass because the lather's already in the brush. Well, a lot of brushes don't have the same pass through, meaning releasing that lather that's maybe in the bottom of the brush or on the inside. And so I tend to just act like I'm building another lather because like right now what I'm putting on is pretty thick, and I'm gonna add just a little bit of water to it. Let me go ahead and post that disaster shave video anyway. Just because, you know, it helps to know other people make mistakes, and Lord knows I do, and I'm sure the rest of you do. And it's funny, growing up, you know, I used to love watching fishing shows. There was this guy from Tennessee named Bill Dance, I think that's right. He always wore a Tennessee Volunteers hat, and he went fishing, and it fascinated me as a young boy because they'd go out on the boat and like every 2 minutes they're catching fish. And so my dad informed me, look, they cut off the cameras. I don't think he or I would have either one, you know, talked much about the concept of editing. We wouldn't have thought about that, but that they cut the cameras off and then cut them back on, and only catch, you know, only record when they're actually catching something. Of course, like I said, obviously we're editing that, and I know a lot of people edit their shave videos. I edit mine too to some extent, but it gave me an unrealistic perception of fishing when I was a little boy. Oh, we're going across the grain, not with the grain. We already did that. Yeah, the primary slickness on this is great. Actually, there's quite a bit of residual there. I think I buffed too much in that one area. On this second pass, I'm feeling, yeah, I mean, that's slick. So good on the residual slickness too. I'm getting excited about going to the Dirty South Shavers Meetup in Memphis on August 31st, I believe it is. I created a Google spreadsheet for the group to create what I'm calling, caught myself there, speaking of editing and unediting, create what I'm calling a shave and, or share and sniff table at the meetup. The way I set up the spreadsheet was that you go in there and you put your name down and a product that you would like to give a sniff, right? You're interested in what the fragrance or the scent is like. And then someone who wants to commit to bringing that product to sit on the share and sniff table so people can give it a smell, can indicate they're committed to doing that there. But I'd also have it set up where people can say, hey, is there anybody willing to share a sample of that? And then people can commit to bringing a sample. So we'll call it the share and sniff table. I hope the guys who've been doing this a while there don't take my initiative the wrong way. It's just something I would like to participate in. This is my first meetup, so who am I to like be putting together a spreadsheet? But so far I'm the only one who's signed up for anything, even though other people said it would be a great idea. But also probably need to put a page on there where people can write down the samples they have and then that they're willing to give away, and see if anybody wants to claim them, and that way they can bring them. And yeah, but I'm looking forward to that. You know, so much now in life, whether it be at work or, you know, people we see all the time, like, you know, things can complicate those relationships. as they can in the wet shaving world. But you know, I'm going to assume that most people who, when we could go to those things, they, you know, like the advice everybody's grandma always gave them, you know, don't talk about religion, sex, or politics. So it's just nice in this politically charged landscape to be getting together with people that you know that they're there to talk about shaving. And I think that's pretty awesome. My job is a job where I have to, the particular sub area that I work in, I have to talk about politics a lot, not one particular ideology, but just how to sort of analyze politics. And honestly, I get sick of it sometimes, as you might imagine. What I just want to hear happen in political, this is still thick, I don't know if you guys can see this or not, political landscape is for people to stop, like, and I'm talking about, I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, Independent, stop saying people hate America. Like, you know, talk about the things they do that you don't like their policies. But I don't understand how you can just question someone's character, particularly in a public forum. Like, don't call people evil. Call the policies that they maybe have implemented. If you think it's evil, say it's evil, but don't call the person evil. You know, I guess we paint things in rose color sometimes. I mean, they're, you know, we're not like in the days where Aaron Burr and Hamilton shot each other. And we don't hear at least of, keep in mind I shave just a little bit under my nose as well. And unfortunately, over time it creeps down further and further. So, you know, I know politics could always be kind of venomous. But I think we just have to return to an ethic in America where we don't call politicians evil, particularly our own elected politicians. Again, if you want to call a policy they support or an action they've taken, you know, wrong-headed or even evil, if you'd like to, that's fine. But let's not call those people evil or say they're un-American or that they hate America. And people are doing that on both sides. Or to, sorry, you may hear a little talking in the back. Or that they don't care about a certain group of people, or, you know, you can't know that person's heart and what they think. Like, there are good people. I don't even like the terms Republican, conservative and liberal. I'm not sure what they mean anymore. There's people, I promise you, that disagree with you on the majority of issues that are really good people, have really good hearts and love their families and want to take care of people who are in need of help. But we'll real quickly say somebody doesn't care about this or care about that, or they hate this, or they hate. We just have to change the way we speak to each other. The world's watching, like our children are watching. I have to act dignity and respect, treat each other with dignity and respect, treat each other with human decency. Even if we think that person is not doing that, we have to exercise that. Anyway, getting off my soap box. Get it? Soap. Sorry, that was bad. My pine tar soap box. This is supposed to be the pickup pass, but I have lathered my whole face like I'm shaving again. So sometimes I'll do another cross the grain stroke from the opposite direction, which usually picks up stuff there underneath my sideburns. That's my trouble area, right in there. Because stuff swirls right in there. Alright, that's enough, Todd. Stop chasing that BBS. I mean, I've seen on some message boards people say so-and-so's possessed by a demon and they're this, that, and the other, like, you know, saying that they're like inherently evil people. You can hear my wife and daughter in there talking. I don't know if you can hear it on camera. All right, let me just see if I got any spots need to be picked up. Okay, let's call that done. I really like this soap, a good residual slickness. You could probably get away without an aftershave, but what fun is that, right? When you got products to try and use. All right, let's rinse off here. I'm gonna empty the sink first. Here's how much is still left in the brush. Enough there for at least another pass. Yep, still smells strong. I love the way this smells. It's a clean. If you've ever smelled pine tar soap, you'll know. It's just a clean smelling, fresh smelling. It's got that darkness, that woody darkness, but it still has a freshness to it. Clean, bright freshness. I would love a sink that you could, wait a minute, still light in the video. I would love a sink where you could just stick your face in there and the water would sort of squirt up. I'll make a mess when I'm rinsing. I don't know if anybody else does that. Okay. So this is actually going to be a series and a kind of what I would call kind of 3 weird or bizarre or unusual, extraordinary shave soaps. We just used the pine tar from Chiseled Face, and I got too many full tubs of stuff right now, but this is moving up to the top of my list of the next thing to purchase, I think. So might have to put that down for Christmas or birthday or something from my wife and daughter. And I've used this before, the Dead Sea. It's actually got salt from the Dead Sea. This is an Italian barber soap, but we'll use it in an upcoming shave. We'll try to do these 3 in a row with the pine tar or the Dead Sea salt. And then the charcoal soap. I'll show you the color of that real quick. It's gray silver from Knightsbridge. It's kind of more of a cream than it is a soap. Okay, well now what do you follow pine tar up with other than something else kind of evergreenish? So we'll do Coniferous from Stirling And it may be excessive, but I like to do the splash and then the, hear music now. The splash, the witch hazel splash, and then do the alcohol splash too, even though the alcohol splash has, oh my gosh, alcohol in it. I can tell you, I haven't done that fall and spring soap and post-shave product video yet. I'm holding off till the fall. But this coniferous, which I've had since the beginning, which I actually love using in summer too, but I'm just trying to reserve it for fall and spring. This coniferous from Stirling is amazing, and if I'm not mistaken, it's only essential oils, meaning no fragrance oils in there. Not sure about that, I rolled it in, but I think that's right. Something I like to do that I think I've mentioned before is I like to kind of dry, like fan off during between layers, and this is a fan from Maggard Razors. It's actually part of the cardboard box from an order from Maggard Razors. Somebody needs to get on Etsy and invent the shave fan. But anyway, I like to just kind of dry down that previous layer of witch hazel. It's one of those things I do that makes me look as ridiculous as I feel. Okay, so now we'll go with the coniferous alcohol splash from Stirling. I think I saw where Stirling is going to be at that meetup. I'm excited to meet them. And, oh, I feel the burn, but oh man, I love that. That coniferous is so good. It's probably going to be in that top 5 of either post-shave or soap for fall, spring, and it's definitely in my top 10 year-round, all-time kind of. Oh, it's so good. All right. Of course, it wouldn't be obsessive. In fact, I may take it another level too after this if we didn't put the coniferous balm on. It feels great. Smells great. All right, let's just get silly with it, because why not? Get my big bottle of Stirling Coniferous beard and pre-shave oil out and put a little in the goatee. Take much there. Any excess kind of put on the dry spots, the elbows, whatnot. Okay, that was a great shave. So just to pick up the cap, just to review, we used the Chiseled Face Pine Tar soap. It would help if I was putting the correct top on the correct bottle. I was trying to put the aftershave bottle top on the oil bottle. So we used Chiseled Face's Pine Tar soap. We used Maggard Razor's open comb razor with their big, or that ginormous handle they have. I'll roll both those in the description. Tried to use it without a razor blade at first, and then we discovered didn't have one. I had the Persona Platinum Red. And we finished up with the Stirling post-shave coniferous products, including the oil. Smells great, feels great, fresh, clean. Yeah, I really like that soap. It will probably find its way to the top of my next purchase list, but that's part of the problem. You know what I'm seeing? A little place there where I got a little razor burn. And when that's the case, I always go to the tin skin. And again, I love the, all this stuff is expensive. I like to get it in the roll-on application. Then you can buy a big bottle and fill up the I've never tried any of the make your own tin skin because this stuff works so great. And again, if you use this roll-on, I find it doesn't, you know, it can last a long time. Yeah, that burns. Yeah, I'm gonna get a little careless down there. Well, hopefully that'll clear up. And when I have that, I find that if I come back like the next day and touch it up again with the tin skin, it tends to help. I'm gonna put just a bit more balm down there. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. And I got some other videos headed your way, and I'll be telling you about those promotions, more about those promotions soon. Giveaways. And we'll have a couple of, well, at least one non-shave related video coming up that I think you'll enjoy. But if not, you know, please just, you know, skip on over to the next shaving video. And either way, I'll see you in one of those videos. Thanks for watching.